Hello, everyone. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and today is about seed organization and planting. First things first, organization is the key when you're starting to plant, and it is time to plant. In Zone 9A, our frost date, I believe, is February 28th. So we have approximately a month and a half to get seedlings. And if you don't know, how you doing, Tina Johnston? Hello, Miss Sharon. So if you don't know, the price of seeds as well as the price of seedlings has gone up. So, I normally do not buy seedlings, but if you buy seedlings, that is perfectly fine. If you don't have the time to do this, it only takes a couple of plants to get some vegetables from it. So I support you completely. Seed starting is a little bit more risky because you're dealing with basically a baby, gestation and all that stuff. You got to get the seed to germinate. And the way I do it is I plant quite a few. You see this? I plant quite a few in the same area. Some of them I just plant in a little cup. But let me start first things first. Let's talk about seed organization. These little things right here. Hello, Anna's Backyard Gardening. Hello, Shay's Urban Edible Greetings. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. So these little things right here, these little containers, I got those from the Dollar Tree. Now, I'm old school. I remember when I would go to the library as a little girl and there was a card catalog, an actual card catalog, right? And you would leaf through the card catalog, find the book you want, look at the number, and then go to that book. It's still sort of the same way, except the card catalog is now a computer, which is interesting to me. Just if the internet goes down, you can't find anything. That is why I like old school as a backup. So what I do is I put all of my vegetables, mostly my vegetables, because I think this one is a flower. I put all of my vegetable or an herb. I put all of my vegetables in alphabetical order, right? Now this is also an herb, comfrey, but most of the time I put all vegetables in alphabetical order so that when I'm leafing through, I'll know how many packets of seeds I have of each type of plant, as well as if I have the plant at all, because sometimes I don't have it. Now, in this container right here, I start with my, let me see, this is mostly flowers and herbs. That's all that's in here. So I go vegetables, right? Any kind of vegetables to include the fruiting vegetables, which are the nightshades, right? And then I put my herbs, my fruit, and my flowers in this one. And I try to put them in alphabetical order also. Sometimes I miss, and when I see something that's out of place, I go ahead and I reorganize it. I do that so that when it's time for me to plant, I move them over to another one of these bins because I couldn't find these anymore after a while. At least not in this color because I like the same color. When I start something, I like to keep it the same color. So I couldn't find those anymore, but these will work too. And they're all from the Dollar Tree. So what? It's $1.25. So I spent $5 to organize all my seeds. Now I know that some of you all have a lot of seeds. I think that this is a lot of seeds, and I do have extra seeds, but those are the seeds that I harvested, like these, because I harvest my seeds. That's okra. I have, man, you start harvesting your seeds, you're going to realize that you will have bags of seeds. Okra, especially, because I let a lot of them go to seed, obviously too much, but I'll figure that out. Hello, Rambo, how you doing? Hello, Georgia Peach Nut. And I said hello to Anna. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I think I already said hi to Shay's Urban Edible Greetings. So after I get all of my seeds organized, right, I'm gonna go through, and it depends on what season it is, because they're not separated by season, although maybe they should be, right, for me. Because in Texas, you cannot grow broccoli, cauliflower, most brassicas are gonna bolt on you. Bad brassicas as well as lettuce. I don't know if lettuce is a brassica, but it's gonna bolt on you, which means it's gonna go to seed. And if you want seeds, then you go ahead and plant them. But you're not going to get any broccoli in Texas. Shoot, even in spring sometime. I planted some in fall, and they're going to seed. So it's kind of hard. You got to wait till it gets cold. And guess what? It's cold now. So Nebraska's out there loving life. But before, what, 2, 3 days ago, it was 78 degrees. So know that. How you doing, Happy Life? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Let me see what everybody says. You are so busy, Tina Johnson. Miss Sharon says working but listening. Anna's backyard garden said good afternoon, Jamerica, and she's saying hi to everybody else. Shay is saying hello. Georgia Peachnut is saying what's up, Jamerica, and the chat. What are we doing today? We're organizing, and then we're gonna plant some nightshades because it's time to plant. It is time. Because my last frost date projected quote is February 28th. I have approximately a month and a half. And if it stays cold, I'll just keep them in these planters a little bit longer because these things are deep. You keep them in this one especially. And this I got from Dollar Tree. Y'all could tell I plant in everything. I plant in the planters that they sell at Dollar Tree. And guess what this one is? This is a kitty litter tray that they sell at Dollar Tree. You can plant your seedlings in there and leave them in there indefinitely. I couldn't find the little white tub, the little foot tubs. And then I was walking through the pet section accidentally because I don't go buy anything from there. And I saw these little green trays for kitty litter. And I was like, oh, that'll work. So I took something and bored some holes in it. And I'm using it for seedlings. But you can use anything. You can reuse your little cups. You can buy the planters, buy the kitty litter trays. And you can organize your stuff in these little organization things. I don't know what these things are actually for. Because I use them for seedlings. This too. I looked at the size and the shape at the store and I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. And then they're like little shells. I just pull it out when I want it. Take this one. If I know that this is the number, I know from this one where this one ends. So if I'm like, okay, comfrey's here. So anything before that, like cauliflower, I know that that's going to be in this tray. So I just pull this little tray out. Take the seed packet and I transfer it to the one. This is my working pod right here. That's as easy as that. And then you don't have to, I see people with bags of seedlings, and then I see people with those sewing kits. Oh, I don't know what. I guess they are sewing kits. I was like, how much are those? And I didn't like the price, so I went to the Dollar Tree and I spent $5. Well, including this one, $6.25 for these, not including tax, but it's way cheaper, especially when you don't have, I don't think this is a lot because I've seen some people who have trunks. So, hello, that's my art. So we're organizing our seeds so that we can find everything. We don't have to dig through bags and bags of seeds because that would drive me crazy. I mean, initially, before I started doing this, I was having a problem figuring out what I had. Hence me buying the same seeds over and over again, which is a waste of money. Because the longer you have the seeds, the lower the germination rate is. So there's that. Although I have a bunch of duplicates, but I did that on purpose. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Happy Life is saying hi. Sharon is saying hi. My Renaissance Grandma, how are you doing? Let me make sure I didn't lose anybody in the chat. Okay, so this is the way I organize it. There is no right or wrong way to do it. If you just want to throw it in the trunk, that's fine. In my mind, it's just easier for me to get to what I want when I want it. So I put them in alphabetical order, like the old card catalog system they had at the library. All the vegetables here, herbs, flowers, and fruit are in here. I need more fruit seeds, but I know I have some, but shoot, you can never have enough fruit seeds. They do sell fruit seeds at the Dollar Tree as well as everywhere else. Dollar Tree is cheaper though. I get my watermelon, I get my cantaloupe from there. I think that's the only two I saw there for sale, unless something has changed. And they went up. They used to be 4 for $1, and now they're 4 for 125, and then they have some that are 2 for 125. So go ahead and get your seeds because the prices are going up. That's not much. It's about 10 cents, 11 cents more. So last year I stocked up. I don't really need anything. I think I need a few turnip seeds. That's about it. So here is the way I organize it with the Dollar Tree little organizers. And they're cute. You don't have to get this color. This is just color, but my color, pink, and you get a masculine color like, black or brown, or even if I like this color, so you tell. So I'm gonna move these forward. So I went through prior to me getting on camera, and I got this out, right? And I use these over and over again. And what I do is I put holes on the bottom of them. This already has holes in it. Don't throw away your little seedling plant. If you buy a plant or if you see somebody throwing out these little planters, you go ahead and collect them because you can grow your seedlings in there. And you can grow multiple seedlings in here. Multiple seeds in there. And seeds aren't very big when they first come out. So I could put, if I wanted to, I could put quite a few in here. I have been known to drop at least, 15 seeds in something this small. So I have this one right here, and in this thing, I have my markers. I finally broke down and got some markers, right? Not that I'm gonna use them, because I always start mixing them up. So in these little brown paper bags, this is where I keep the seeds that I collect. And I keep them in paper bags because you never know if they're going to, if they're all completely dried out. This right here, loofah, that's one thing I'll never plant again. I don't think I'll ever plant that again. And then I have motherland okra. I have motherland okra over here. These are not organized yet, but these are the seeds that I collected, and they're in paper bags or they're in these. And the reason why I keep them in these little seed holders, motherland okra, these little seed holders is because when I dry them myself, I'm not completely sure that they're completely dry. So I put them in this to make sure that they don't mold on me. Otherwise, I put them in the plastic, Ziploc plastic bag. And this, I believe, I don't know who this came from. I thought it was from Homestead Heart, but it's not. But I put them in the plastic bag. I'm sure that they're dry, because if you put your seeds in these little packets, these little plastic bags, you might come back and find them moldy. Speaking from experience. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm gonna move these forward out of the frame without knocking my power pack down and taking the camera out with it, huh? It's right here. So I'll move these forward out of the frame. That's how I organize my seeds. Does anybody have another way that they organize seeds? So I've seen the way that that other people have organized their seeds with the sewing kit, and I do it this way. But is there another way that I don't know about? Because I'm open for a suggestion. Psalms, how you doing, Psalms? I heard okra. Yeah, I harvested seeds from my Clemson spineless and my motherland okra. Now, I can't tell you if they cross-pollinated. They may be a hybrid because they were pretty close to each other. But I wouldn't mind if they do. First of all, Clemson spineless is delicious. But it gets woody on you real quick. Motherland okra doesn't taste as good, but it doesn't go woody very fast. Like with Clemson spineless, you go out there one day, right? And the next day, if you wait too long, that thing will be woody and you can't use it. Motherland okra will give you more time. So if I could get a hybrid between Clemson spineless, and Clemson spineless is spineless because most okra have those little furry things on it, like it feels like, that insulation, that fiberglass insulation, that stuff gets in your skin, and it's horrible. So if I get a hybrid of those two, I'll be happy. But my question was, does anybody have another way of organizing seed that I didn't cover? Besides, I only know 2 ways: this way and the sewing kit way. Let's see. How you doing, Tampa Creek Homestead? Let's see. Hello, GT Junior grows in GT Junior grows in Alaska. Let me see. Psalms is saying blessings to everyone from, and she's from in the bushes, right? Tampa Creek said hello, Mr. G. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to one another. Psalms 146 Garden says, a few of us use the photo storage cases from the craft store to organize our seeds. That's a good idea. Those photo, the little slots for the photos, that's cool. That makes a lot of sense. I'll think about doing that. Rambo Green Hands is just saying hello. GT Junior is saying hi. Rambo Green Hands says, I wish I did organize. I have them all over the place. I had them all over the place too. I had them in shopping bags. It was ridiculous. It was horrible. And I couldn't find anything. And I get so irritated when I can't find what I'm looking for until I go through, and it's always the last seed. It's always the last set of seed that you find. And when I did this, my life became so much easier. It took a little while. But it was so worth it because initially they were everywhere. And I have more than this because not every seed company gives you a seed pack like that. Not everyone. Some of them give you the little thing like this, which makes it harder to organize, which is why I like what Sam said about using the photo case. Then I can put these away because they're not the same way. Shay said the little photo boxes that have an Amazon work for me. Really? I don't know about those. I gotta look at those. I gotta look those up. The little photo boxes they have on Amazon works for me. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's like little drawers. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna look it up. Miss Miranda Sanskarma saying hi. Georgia Denise Peachton saying hi. Rambo said, Rambo Greenhand said, I went in a drawer today and have too many seeds in there. The bag broke. Yeah. H2O Savior, how you doing? I had, those bags are not made well. You could just put the bag down and it'll have a hole in the bottom. But sometimes I think they have holes in there before you get out of the store. I always ask them to double bag everything, but that don't work either. You have 2 holes with 2 bags in it. That's the way things are right now. They're not made to last. They don't want you to use that bag over and over again. Miss Sharon said, I use photo storage cases too. The cheapest I have found is at Hobby Lobby. Okay, everybody heard that, right? So I'm gonna check out the photo storage cases for stuff like this, and for the stuff that I harvested myself, because I harvest my seeds. See, if I have a fruit and I grow it, and I'm like, okay, and I'm eating a fruit, or even if I buy it from the grocery store, sometimes those seeds work. They make you think they won't work, but they work. Like cantaloupe, if you can find a watermelon with seeds in it, because there used to be a time where grapes had seeds in it, watermelon had seeds in it. Now they even have lemons now that are seedless, and they're letting us think it's fantastic. It's not to me anyway. I want my seeds. Look, these are from my lime tree. Seeds, mature seeds, because I leave my limes on. They go from green to yellow to orange. I have some out there that are orange right now. Actually, this is a lime. Ooh. Oh, y'all saw that, right? I'll get another one. I ain't gonna reach across because my back was out a couple of weeks ago and I don't want to revisit that. But this is a lime. This is not an orange. They turn orange after a while. And they're juicy. Look how big that is. Now, some of them are gonna be small, but guess what all of them have? Seeds, mature seeds. Seeds that I am gonna put in the ground and see. I might not get all of them, but I'll get some. Definitely they'll come up. I'm speaking from experience. I will plant a seed in a minute. The only seed that I know that's not worth growing is HOWS avocado. And I think they did something to that seed. I really do. So I bought the tropical ones, even though they're expensive. So I pulled some seeds out, and they're all nightshades. So this is my go-to in Texas. Cherry tomatoes. Because it gets so hot, if I don't get my tomato seeds like this one, and even this one, I don't get them, if I don't get any fruit before, I say June, I'm not going to get anything because it gets too hot. Eggplant is a trooper. Eggplant, I'm not going to get anything. I'm going to get something early spring, and they're probably gone now, but and I'm going to get it in fall when it cools down in Texas. So I'll plant that. I don't even know why I bought this, because it's too hot in Texas. So if I don't get any fruit from this plant before June, just like I said, I'm not going to get anything. But peppers are my love. My love, the love of my life. So let's talk about peppers. Different peppers do different things. So if you're going to plant California Wonder in the South, or in Texas, or Arizona, or anywhere where it gets 100-something degrees, you're going to get peppers in early spring, and you're going to get them in late fall. I keep them, and I overwinter my peppers, all of my peppers, as much as I can, because I don't want to restart. I have bell peppers in the greenhouse right now that are about, I think this is year 4. They look bad, but they produce. They produce. So I plant fresh ones every year, just in case one passes away on me. But I overwinter, or peppers are perennials. Let me just put it that way. That's what they are. So are eggplant, so are tomatoes. This is something that didn't do well for me, but I'm gonna try again. Jalapenos, because I like jalapenos, right? And another one that I really like that is super expensive in the supermarket is poblano peppers, right? I'm just gonna pick out my favorite ones: poblano, jalapeno, and California Wonder bell peppers. Here's grand bell peppers. I also want those. I just picked I have more peppers in there. I just picked the ones that I like. Cayenne pepper, which is supposed to be super good for you, especially if you have inflammation. Just look it up. Don't trust me. And then I have Scotch bonnet. Y'all know I got to do that, right? Did I take my habanero peppers out? I must have, because I don't see them. Oh, I got to plant those. Scotch bonnet is not enough. So let's see where the P is, the peppers. Go to my little thing, go through my little card catalog, and let me find my habanero. Here it is. Habanero peppers. See how easy that was? I didn't have to go digging or looking for stuff. I just went ahead and did it. So don't be like me. I'm going to start it off like that. And let me see what's going on in chat. Let's see, Georgia Peach Nut saying hello. That was a lime? Yeah, that's a lime. They're limes. I planted those trees about, I don't know, 15 years ago. This one is the one that's recovering, and hopefully it doesn't get damaged from the frost, because my back was hurting. I couldn't cover my trees. You should, that's a lesson learned. Do things when you should do them so that you don't get caught out there. But this is a lime. This is what they look like when they're completely ripe. And they fall. The way you know that a citrus is ripe is that when you go to pull it off the tree, it comes off. That's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me, but that's my opinion in citrus. If you want something, or orange, this is not an orange, this is a lime. You want something to come off, and look, there's juice coming out the side. If you want something to, and know that your seeds are ready, and this thing is at its capacity. Look how big that thing is. Normally you see a lime and it's this small. We'll hold them side by side. See the difference? This is because this is in the backyard and didn't get as much attention or water. This I only got a few limes off of, but it's way bigger. See that? Yeah, that's a lime. Limes go from green to yellow to orange. All right, so Rambo, yes they do. Rambo, the best way seeds are meant to be in all seeds. Yeah, the best way seeds are meant to be are in all seed. GT Junior said, I sort my seeds similar. I also have a photo case. I also have a trapper keeper. Oh, for my pepper seeds. I have tons of seeds. Trapper keeper. Where you keep your pencils. Okay, I'm gonna get one of those because I saw some at Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna get a trapper keeper. I'm gonna get the, the knockoff, the Dollar Tree knockoff. Rambo said that. Let me see. I got that one. Psalm says, may I please borrow some of your lime seeds? My neighbor's mom unalived. Oh. Send me an email. jamericalife@gmail.com. Send me an email. Rambo Green Hands. Let's see. She is just saying hi. So what we're going to do is we are going to plant these. And I'm going to use this planter. I'm going to try to get as much in this planter as possible. So what I do is I take my little finger, right? Oh, another thing, a lesson learned. I tried to switch what the type of planting medium I used, and went to another type of soil. Don't do that. Once you find something that worked for you, go ahead and stick to it. That's why these are stunted right now. These have been in here for about, look, there are leaves and everything in there. These have been in here about a month, and they should be way bigger than that. I believe it's the compost, because it's definitely not the seed. I'm gonna put those in the ground as soon, because they're kale. They could take a freeze, and they're at the point where they have their secondary leaves. That's when you go ahead and put them in the ground after this freeze finishes. It's like it was cold. It was cold out there last night, but everything is doing okay so far, so good. So far, so good. Maybe I'll go out there and cover up some of the smaller ones today. So all I'm doing is making lines. Oh, what I was saying about the medium. If you find a soil that works, stop shopping around. I bought some soil. I bought some compost that was not compost. It was nothing but a bunch of sticks. And yes, there are sticks in this one, right? In this soil. But it was just like mulch, which is bad for my trees. I pray that my bare roots trees are okay. I thought about that after, because if the soil is not, or the compost or whatever you're using has sticks in it, and it's a bunch of sticks, it's robbing nutrients from the soil, and your plants are going to get stunted like those are. Let me see. Rambo is saying hi. Psalms 146 said, yep, Rambo, green hands. She came to visit from Mexico and doesn't understand that they can't handle the cold in my area. She put them in the ground and tossed my big pots in the skip. Oh, that's messed up. Rambo green hands. Wow, I would have lost my hair. She would have lost some hair. Just joking. Don't do that. GT Junior Grows in Alaska said, I use cocoa core and peat when I germinate in the soil. I used to do that when I was in school. We did 2 parts peat moss, 1 part perlite, because the seeds are like an egg yolk. They have their own nutrients, but that stuff, first of all, it dries out. And second of all, it ain't got no nutrients in it. So you got to upplant that stuff as soon as possible. But it works. We did that. And when we sold the seedlings, and we sold them before, they ran out of nutrients. I think I think they used Miracle Grow, because I remember that the liquid that we watered them with was green or blue. It was blue. A long time ago. All right. So Let's go ahead and do this. First things first, peppers. Peppers take forever to come up, about 2 weeks, especially these bell peppers. Bell peppers take a while to come up. And when I first started this, right, I would put a lot of seeds in the ground or in the medium. Mistake. You don't do that. You wasting seed. Then you have too many of them in a little cup and you start trying to figure out, you know, who you gonna make survive. And I don't thin my stuff out. I don't thin out. I give everything. I try to give everything opportunity to thrive. Try to give every. I'm gonna put 5 in. That's 6. Put 5 in there. 5 seeds. See that? Not very many. They give you, or they used to give you, I don't know what's going on right now, but they used to give you quite a bit of seeds, right? You pay for them. These seeds ain't cheap, right? And this is California Wonder, right? And then I'm just going to space them out as much as possible. You could just throw them in there. One by one, I'm putting them in so they have their own little home. Because I'm going to have to separate these out. And I'm sure you all have seen me do that in the yard. Pull them apart, right? So I have 5 California Wonder right here. And because I'm becoming a more organized, this is organized in 2025. Because I wasn't doing it before. I'm going to take my grease pencil. This is how we used to mark vehicles in the military. It go through rain, sun, sleet, snow, and it will not come off. Grease pencil. It's nothing but a crayon. And that's how I keep my seedlings, my markings on here. And I'm just gonna put California on here and stick it in right there. All right, that's one. We have one set of seeds done. I guess it's gonna be pepper tray. 1, 2. I don't know if I have enough room. So the next one I'm gonna plant is habanero. And this pack of seeds is, oh, this is new. They should do well. It says 2024. I usually go ahead and look through the tray to see if I had the older seeds is what I want to use first. GT Jr. says, in school. Yes, I went to high school for agriculture and horticulture. I was supposed to go to college for it, but I went to college for something else later on in life because I was sick of school. So I joined the military outside of high school, which kind of ticked them off. I went to a place, it was called John Bound High School in Flushing, Queens. I had to take a test to go to that school. Initially, I started out with agriculture, agribusiness for animals because I wanted to be a veterinarian. But then I realized that, man, they made us realize, what am I talking about? That I like plants also. So they used to, one year, the first year after freshman year, they gave us a little plot of land, and John Bound is right behind Queens College, right? They had a big old field out there, and they gave each of us a little plot of land, and we grew that summer. We grew seed, and that was in New York City. We grew seed, and we grew our own vegetables, and that started, how old was I, 15? That started me planting vegetables because my grandmother, we had fruit trees, but she didn't plant many vegetables. She was afraid of the soil in New York, and I don't blame her because there's lead in the soil. So she said the soil had to be tested, and she did that. After she did that, we started planting more things to eat out there, but she was afraid of, poisoning us. Lead poisoning is really bad for kids, especially. You got to be careful if you're in the inner city, and we were in Queens, New York. So yes, I went to school for it. I did 4 years. Did 4 years of agriculture and horticulture. So that's what I went to high school for. But after I went to the military, I went into transportation. So I was a coordinator, which hence the organization, right? So we're going to do habaneros. It's funny how it takes you a while to go back to the things that you loved when you were a kid. Because I planted a lot of stuff out there, but I planted some fruit trees, but I wasn't doing any vegetables. I was like, I ain't got time for that. I gotta work. I was too worried trying to make a dollar. But now that I have more time, I went back to what I know or what I'm used to. There was a time I was like, I ain't planting no vegetables. You know what changed it for me? The lockdown. When I was one of them people who had to wait in line for food, to buy food, not to get it for free. GT Junior says, nice, thank you for sharing. Yeah. Yeah, I was taught this by the somewhat professionals. And they sent us, not only did they teach us about growing stuff, but they taught us how to take care of animals. I like animals, but there's a difference between a pet and livestock. I worked on a sheep/goat farm for a summer also. And then I went into horticulture completely, where I was doing flower arrangement, growing stuff. That's all I wanted to do was grow stuff. I think after I went to the sheep farm, that's when I realized, I was like, woo, sheep can hurt you, especially them rams. So this is Jamaican Scotch bonnet. All right, I already have one in the greenhouse, but it might bite the dust. You never know. So always have a backup plan. It's good to have backup plans. Life be lifing. You know, we ain't in charge. I have a garage heater out there, but what if something happens and I lose my plant? Then I have a backup. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chances. Oh, another thing is that you see how I'm digging? I dig the little trench for these. Some seed I do not dig anything for. The smaller the seed, the less you planted. Mustard seeds or anything like that. Like, oh, callaloo. I got to get that out of there. Callaloo, you don't bury that. You throw that straight on top. I might use this one right here for callaloo, and I'm running out of space. But I got California Wonder. I have habaneros, and this is Scotch bonnet. I'm just gonna put Scotch. I'm gonna put that right there. I'm just gonna pick the ones that I want because I'm running out of room. I got to get my tomatoes in too. All right, I got to make decisions because I only have so much space. So I have California Wonder, habanero, Scotch bonnet. I'm gonna do poblano, and these can wait because I gotta get my tomato seeds in and my eggplant. So here's a poblano peppers, right? And I'm gonna do 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. That's it. I hope that works. All right, and these seeds look nice and juicy, so they should work. Let's see. Let's see. Rambo Greenhand said, I hate it at Jamerica because because I grow up in a farm community because I love I love it more now than ever. Okay. Real Life Gardening says, I never thought I would know or watch someone who went to my high school. Really? John Bound? What? Flushing, Queens? All right. All right. It's still there. It used to be a Jewish neighborhood. I don't know. I think it's Asian right now. So this is poblano. I used to walk to the bagel shop. We graduated. Our graduation was at Queens College. That was so wonderful. Those were the days. Those were the days. Now you don't miss your water till your wells run dry. Because I was so happy to be out of New York City. I don't regret anything, by the way. That was a good decision. Um, but all the responsibility that came after high school, I didn't know. I wasn't prepared for that, and I wasn't prepared because I went to the military and I got stationed in Germany as my first duty station. It was my first duty station. It was my first time getting on an aircraft for hours, and it was me and this guy named McMillan. He had never been on airplane before. We had been on like Greyhound buses, and man, I was so glad that he was there. We had both, because I joined when I was 17. We had both, we were both little kids. So and we went to the same, I met him in AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training. And I was just glad I wasn't by myself and that he was there because, man, he sat right next to me. I think we begged somebody to switch seats because that was a long flight. Long flight. And he was from Chicago, Chi-Town. I remember him. He thought he was so good looking. I'm fine as wine. Boy, get out of my way. He was something. Oh, but he did help me make it through that flight because I was afraid. Let's see. I never thought, okay, GT Junior Grows in Alaska. I was there. Was this a charter school or something? It's called a vocational high school. So in New York City, if you don't want to go to your zone high school, you can put in an application to another school and go there. I had to take a test and write a little essay. They had to test you to see if you had good math skills and reading and writing just to get into the school, because I didn't want to. My zone school was John Adams. That was in Ozone Park, and I did not want to go there. They were having all kind of issues with racial issues. Y'all heard about the Howard Beach incident? That was around the same time. So I didn't want to go there because I knew my mom graduated from John Adams. That's how long my family has been in New York City. I didn't want to go there. So I did something about it. I took a test and went to John Bound. I had to take 2 buses, but I made it. My mother would not let. There was another school that I wanted to go to, the School of Aviation, but my mom didn't want me to get on the subway. She wanted me to stay in Queens. So I took the test and I got accepted to. I took the test and put my application in for several different high schools because I was determined I was not going to go to John Adams. Was not. That was it had a bad rap. That school was having all kind of bad things happen at that time. And I had already experienced that sort of problem in junior high school. So I knew that I didn't want to go to school in that neighborhood. And we would have had to take the bus. And you can't walk. At that time, you couldn't have walked around that. They didn't want you there. So it's not just down south that things like that happen. But back then, that's what happened. The Howard Beach incident happened. And I don't mean to get onto this. But anyway, that's how I ended up at John Bound. And that was like, I either wanted to go to John Bound for horticulture and agriculture, mainly agriculture at that time, because I want to be a veterinarian. And then I started realizing that I also like plants. And then I realized I like plants more than I liked working with animals. Although I got a bit of both. Or I wanted to go to the School of Aviation, which is a total different path. I ended up in transportation, which is very close to aviation. So let me get to the chat. I took biotech horticulture 2-year course in high school. This have my passion for plants and gardening. Yes, thus having my passion for plants and gardening. Yeah. You start off early. Either my grandmother, when we planted all kind of stuff. Because she liked a pretty yard. She had a beautiful yard. And I think she was the one who inspired me to grow stuff, because she had me out there with the boys. She was like, if them boys can be out here, you gonna be out here with them. And she said if they get their hands dirty, and I was real small. I was a little skinny midget kid, but she had me out there with the boys. She was out there too. She said if they could do it, we could do it. You never know what, you need to build up your strength. That's what she told me. Real life gardening. I wasn't learning no gardening though. So that must have been before my time. They have they had, I think they still have it. They call them Aggies, and they're the ones who walk around with them Future Farmers of America jackets. They're gold and an ugly blue. I had one of them jackets. I probably is still at my mom's house. They called us Aggies. So it was like a little separate entity in the school. So if you take the test, if you're not, that's not your zone high school, you take the test to enter that program at that time. I'm pretty sure it's still there. That's what you do. And they have their own little counselors, everything. Everybody in that school did not do agriculture and horticulture. It was just those particulars, like a subset of the school. And I remember when you walked through, because they had guards there. So when you walked into that, I call it the atrium, the theater was over here, then the guards was here. And I remember there was an incident, and after a while we had metal detectors. And then when you walk past the school guards, if you looked on the left-hand side, there was a little door there, and they would sell their plants in there. And those were the Aggies. And that's what I was a part of. It's different than going down towards the cafeteria. All that we did was sell fruits, vegetables, and seedlings. So this is large red cherry tomatoes right here. You're going back down memory lane. I remember how cold it was. Ooh, it's cold now. I went out there today with them chickens, right? I went out there today with them chickens. It reminded me of New York. I was like, oh my God. This is not what I like. I've been to Alaska. I wish I had went in the summertime because it was cold. All right, so this is cherry. There it is right there. I'm gonna put my little marker right here. And I'm trying to save space now, right? I didn't cover them up, thank goodness, because I'm going to have to do some reorganization because I'm running out of space. And I'm determined to get everybody in here. Eggplant, I'm going to put the eggplant in here by themselves. Right? And I hear my rooster. I have one rooster left, and he don't know. He don't know who he dealing with. He making noise. All right, so let me go up the chat. Real Life Gardening said hello. How you doing, Real Life Gardening? Tina Johnson, how you doing? As a child, my mom always had a garden, and we loved getting our hands dirty. My grandmother had a garden also, but she was very particular because we lived in the inner city, and this is how they poison the soil and get lead in it. They knock down the buildings. They'll like go through and they'll level a building in New York. And all of that material that comes from the building, lead pipes and all that stuff, gets into the soil. And if you ingest that, especially children, it messes with their memory and it gives them a lot of problems. I remember we lived in some apartments. Where were we? We were in Brooklyn, and that was when I was real young. And I remember we were renting an apartment from a Jewish guy. He owned a big old, not even house, apartment building. There was a lot of people in there. And this one lady asked him, there was like a big plot of land behind the building, right? And nothing was back there and nothing was growing, right? And she asked him if she could plant back there in the ground. He told her, of course you can, right? And all of the other ladies, I remember them telling her, you can't plant back there because they knocked down a building behind us and that soil is poisoned. And I think after a while, I don't know if they turned her over to the Board of Health or they shut it down. Somehow it got shut down because she was going to feed her kids with those vegetables from that land, and that land was poisoned. So you gotta be careful. Get the land tested. If you know you're not in a rural area, you're in a city, inner city, go ahead and do them raised beds or plant in a planter because it's just safer. Hopefully it's safer. Let's see. Lamb chop, habanero salsa. Um, Real Life Gardening says we wasn't learning no gardening though, so we must have been before my time. Okay. As I said, it was just a subset. I had to take a test to go to that school because I wasn't supposed to be there. It wasn't my zone high school. GT Jr. says, that's what's up. Oh, he says to Tina Johnson. Real Life Gardening says, okay, so now we have 3 things in common in our high school. Gardening and the military. Yeah, I was gone. After high school, I left in August. I was gone. And I was close to the house because I went to Fort Dix. Now I'm dating myself, right? Went to Fort Dix. It's still open, but it's a reserve base. At least I think it's still open. So this is Roma tomatoes, by the way. I'm going to put it right here. So what was I saying? I forget what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. Let me read your comment again. It'll come back to me. Oh, I was as I said, I left when I was 17. I left when I was 17, and I never looked back. Once I got out of New York City, I don't like cities. I came to Austin before it was a big city. I thought it was so cute and new and retro, and then everybody started moving here. One of the governors told him, you need a job, come to Texas. I was like, oh, no, don't say that, man. No. Shut the gates down. I'm here. It is a madhouse. That city has Austin. I'm right outside. I'm right Austin. I'm right here. Oh, I used to be able to hear cows. And now where the cow farms were and the cattle ranches were, subdivisions. Just blew up. The place is expanded. Oh, I read the thing, Roma. The place is expanded. Everybody, it was coming here. And then, companies come here, right? And they get all the exemptions, and then they annex themselves. You know what that means? They ain't got to pay the city nothing no more. A lot of them did that. And the ones who didn't do that are now gone. So people who came here and bought houses, a lot of remote workers from California came to Texas thinking that it was cheaper. And it's not. The taxes in Texas are horrendous. So we got our Roma tomatoes in here. So far I have California peppers, habanero peppers, Scotch bonnet, poblano peppers, cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, and Brandywine tomatoes. Next one is beefsteak. And man, this California wonder is right over here. Let me move you. It's determined it's going to stay on this side. You'll know them by their fruit. That's in the Bible. People and plants can only hide out so long. They're all going to look the exact same way initially. And then the fruit's going to show up. So they can't hide for very long. So this one is beefsteak, and I got to get this one in the ground soon because I'm in Texas, and these seeds do not like heat. And I don't know if these are one-timers. I forget what it's called, determinate or indeterminate. I think this is a determinate, which means that it flowers one time and that's it. You better get what you can while you can. That's why I like cherry tomatoes, because they're indeterminate and they will keep on. They'll stop when it's hot, and then they'll come back. They'll come back when it cools down. Beefsteak, I don't think beefsteak is one time. You get one chance, and then you cut the plant down because it's not going to give you anything else. But from what they say, because I haven't experienced this yet, they put out more than the other one. And they're bigger. So that's the thing about being down south or being in a heated climate. Some things Everybody thinks, oh, y'all can grow all the whole time. Yes, but, and we planted all of this. Y'all could plant the whole season. Yes. However, it's so hot here that these things don't grow very long. You got to get it in early spring in Texas. I'm just talking about Texas 9A. You get it, you got to go out there in early spring and get as much as you can before that heat comes in. And I'm talking about over 100 degrees for days, months. You're just trying to keep your plants alive at that point. That's all you're doing. Watering and praying that they make it to fall. So it's not the same thing. And I'm watching all of the people up north, and they're getting these huge harvests, and my plants are turning brown and shriveling up. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Real life gardening. Okay, Rambo is laughing. Psalm says roasted poblano with ooh, that sounds good. Melted mozzarella cheese. GT Jr. says, I'm loving Storytime, Jamerica. Thank you. Real life gardening says, I went for track and field, so maybe I didn't notice it. Oh, I was on track team too because I didn't like volleyball. Miss Viviana was a meanie, and I didn't like her. And she told my mama she don't know what's gonna happen with this girl. Oh man, some of these teachers, they don't need to be teachers. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause I didn't like volleyball, and I was like, I don't need to be in your class no more, Miss Viviana. I'm on the track team. I liked running. I loved running. I was a distance runner, which was good because then I joined the military and I didn't have. So what I'm doing is I'm covering up the seats. And I didn't have to be fast. I just had to have stamina, which helped me in the military because sometimes they run until you. I remember one time I ran with some MPs and we ran so far out in Fort Knox that I didn't know how to get back to the barracks. I was lost. And at that time I was married. My husband was looking for me and he couldn't. And I couldn't find my way back to the barracks. I was in some darn field, some vacant road. They ran me and left me. You better keep up. They will keep running. The whole group just disappeared. They became a dot. I'm not talking. And then you only have so much time before you got to go to work. You got to be at work by 9 o'clock. Man, so you got that time, but you finish PT about 7:30 and 9 o'clock, you better be clocking in. And man, I was lost. That taught me. I started running every day after that. I said, that will never happen to me again. Nobody look for you. They don't care. The only one who was looking for me was him because I was going to make him late for work too. We only had one car. And he was like, where you been? I said, I could not find my way back. They left me. They were all gone. All their cars is gone. They didn't care. They was like, shoot, if she couldn't keep up, well, she'll be all right if nobody looked for me. Nobody stopped. Nobody turned around. Nothing. They were like, you either keep with the pack or you going to get left behind. And you going to have to fend for yourself. I learned my lesson after that. I was like, if anybody's going to be left, it's not going to be me. Not again. Never again. So we got all of this planted. I got cherry, poblano, scotch. Okay. Let me go through it. I got my California Wonder here. I have my habanero right here. My Scotch bonnet right here. My poblano right here. Cherry tomatoes right here. Turn it around. I got aroma tomatoes right here. My Brandywine and my beefsteak tomatoes. Peppers and tomatoes are all in this little thing right here. You don't need a lot of space. Do not. Okay, now on to the eggplant. And look, I was pulling these big old sticks out. This is supposed to be, soil. All of them do it. They all have little sticks. And this brand has less. I see people who have been sifting their soil, and I know why. Because of this. This is not good. And these sticks, this debris could inhibit your seeds from coming up. Imagine a little baby trying to push up past something like that. Take them out. So let me see. I have one of those jackets also. Oh, the the Future Farmers of America. I know I can't fit in it right now because back then I was about 90 something pounds. I was almost so skinny that the military wouldn't take me because they will tell you you don't weigh enough. Either you weigh too much or not enough. And I was on. They were like, do not lose not one more pound. Don't do it. Let's see. You have one of those jackets, Future Farmers of America. Yeah, FFA. I received my 2-year degree in horticulture, and I have been getting dirty ever since. I didn't want to go to college because I come from a Jamaican family. Jamaicans are very protective of their daughters. Can't go nowhere. They keep track of you. It's like being in prison. I don't want to get away from them, to tell the truth. And I didn't like New York City. I don't like cities. I would sit on the bus and dream about being on a farm. In the middle, I'll be on the bus. And my aunt was like, excuse me, you need to wake up. It's time for us to get off the bus. Because I would be daydreaming that I wasn't there. So all my life, I felt like a fish out of water. I felt like I was not supposed to be there. And once I got old enough to do something about it and to experience that everybody didn't live like that. Right now this is close, but I don't have to. I talk to my neighbors, but I don't talk to my neighbors. I have a few selective ones that are in my line of sight that I say hello to and have a relationship with. But for the most part, nope. I prefer space. I remember one of my friends in New York City, there was a fire, and the houses are so close, if not connected, because they have row houses, right? Brownstones. One house caught fire, and those houses were so close that Sherry and Terry and Miss MacArthur were having to throw water out their window in order for their house not to catch a fire. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. I prefer to have space and peace. I don't want to hear my neighbors. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to know what's going on in your house. I got my own problems. I mind my business. They know that about me. I don't get involved unless, something really, really egregious happened, and that has not happened out here. Thank God. But where I come from, woo, live and you got to fight for your rights. You don't have to be bothering nobody. All you have to do is look at them. They don't want you to look at them in New York City. No eye contact. As a matter of fact, when I left New York City and I left at 17, I remember being in Germany and walking down the street and people would say, hi, how you doing? I'm like, I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? Because in New York, if somebody says hello to you, you automatically go on guard. Because you think they're either crazy or they want to hurt you. That was not the way I wanted to live my life. Hence me being in Texas. Me and a couple of my cousins, we never went back. My family is all over the United States, but I have people here in Texas, Georgia, all up and down the East Coast. I had a nephew in San Diego, but he's gone. He went back to New York. He might be here in Texas soon, though. I got family everywhere. Germany, I got a cousin in Germany. I have cousins in Germany. He married he was in the military also. And he married a German national. He never came back. He was in New York also. We all come from New York. And we were like, shoot. Most people think that that people from the big city, most of the time people from New York go down to Florida. We ain't going to Florida no more. We don't want to be in that cold and the hustle and bustle. They don't shut that city down either. You see all those things where we have this freeze going on? New York City is still open. They don't shut down. I think when I went to high school and I had to take 2 buses to high school, I remember one time the school shut down once and it freezes there all the time. They salt those roads. You hear the sanitation department come by. Chinga, 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 chinga. Remember, I don't remember what movie that was, but you could hear them. They have a big old shovel on there. Man, sanitation department is terrible. They come by, you shovel out your driveway, because my grandma will make us go out there, shovel down the steps and shovel out the driveway so we get in and out. Sanitation come, clean the street, cover up the driveway again, cover up the exit for the driveway. So we'd have to get on top of the hill and shovel it. Man, I do not want to live like that. Do not. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I moved to Texas, Zone 9A. It used to be 8B, but now it's Zone 9A, and that's fine with me. I had a couple of friends who moved to Atlanta, and I have cousins in Atlanta. I have a lot of family in Atlanta. And I was like, I ain't coming there. I ain't going up. I mean, I'm not going up north. I'm going further south. If I move, it'll be further south. My family has arthritis. No. Let's see. Did I miss somebody? Let's see. GT Junior grows it Alaska. It's 44 degrees here. Laugh out loud. It's 30 something here right now. Last night it was 22. We got a freeze. We got a freeze coming through right now, and it's gonna be that way for a couple of days. Y'all are warmer than we are. The high today is 42. GT Junior says, are you a content creator, Tina Johnson? Real Life Gardening. Broke Farmer says, hey, Jamerica in the chat. How you doing, Broke Farmer? South Girl City Gardening. How you doing? You have to do everything special for the bee. Oh, did you have to do anything special for the bees in the cold weather? I went to Azure Standard Drop a couple of days ago, and I have to feed them. They were doing fine. It was 78 degrees, 3-4 days ago. So I don't know. I didn't put a blanket. Someone told me when I went to the beekeeping class, they said you could put a wool blanket over it, but I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything for those bees. I forgot about them until now. I go out there and check on them. I'm afraid. When I went to beekeeping class, one of the teachers said to go ahead, don't feed them water because water will freeze, but go ahead and take some sugar, some pure cane sugar, open the top where the peephole is, and just drop some sugar in there so they have food. But it doesn't get cold here long enough. It's only been cold like maybe 36 hours. So I have my eggplant in here, and we're just going to cover them up. And this is Black Beauty eggplant. So that's done. So there are some that I did not get planted today. I didn't plant the cayenne pepper, the grand bell mix, which is another bell pepper, and jalapenos. But I will. I'll get to that on another one. And here's the eggplant. So I have tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant all done in this little space. See that? Doesn't take much. It's not going to take up a lot of space because I don't have a lot of space right now. I have my planter right there, and I'm doing the wig, so I have a lot of plants in there. I also have some over here that I have to transplant, but it doesn't take much for you to get a seed started. And when you do it this way, it's easier to water. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's easier to water. Now, this does not require light until they start sprouting. You don't have to put them in light. I know that the peppers are going to take about 2 weeks. When I first started growing peppers, who was it? Urban Backyard Container Garden. He was like, oh, those take about 2 weeks. And I didn't know. I was like, what? I didn't know that. And I had forgot. Maybe I knew when I was a kid, but I didn't know that. So, was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago or something. It had to be 2 years ago. It wasn't last year. So, everything is in here. I won't put it into the lights, to the grow station, which are just shop lights, until they start showing up. And once they start showing up, I'll just keep them under the grow lights until they get their secondary leaves. So everything is going to look alike until the secondary leaves come in. That's how all plants start off. They start off with these little baby leaves, right? And you're like, what are you? And then they get their true leaves in, and then you start realizing what they are. Although peppers and tomatoes, their leaves are going to look alike for a little while, and then they'll show what they really are. GT Junior says, okay, Broke Farmer, hello. I didn't do anything for the bees. GT Junior says, GT Junior grows in Alaska, said hello to Broke. Real Life Gardening, ooh, this closer. I just started a channel yesterday, so it wouldn't, almost block somebody. Real Life Gardener said, I just started a channel yesterday, so I wouldn't label that yet. Oh, we need to go to Real Life Gardening and check out her channel, give her some support. GT Jr. Grows in Alaska is just saying hello. Rambo is saying, wow. Psalms says, you were speaking about Fort Dix. Oh, Fort Dix was a basic training years ago, a long time ago, back in the 80s and 90s. Now it's just a reserve base. I don't know if it's still open. But when I went, I remember the story. So when I went to basic training at Fort Dix, it's not that far. They took us in a van. They picked everybody up because there was a bunch of us in New York City. And they just transported us to Fort Dix in a van. It was like a 9-passenger van. And I remember the drill sergeant saying, I remember, wow. I remember when I was there the first night, there were girls crying. I mean, they were homesick. They wanted to call for their mama and saying they didn't want to be there. I mean, they were boo-hooing. I mean, it was bad. It was sad to this. And me, I was 17. And I was like, shoot, I ain't going back to New York City. I ain't going back there. There's only one way. And I'm out. I'm out, completely out. I'm not going back home. And I mean, I didn't get homesick until I actually went to Germany. That's when I got homesick. So I remember the drill sergeant saying, because we were after we went to a holding station, right? And then they give you a PT test where you have to do like 7 push-ups and you have to do a couple of sit-ups, and then they make you run, which was wonderful because I was a long distance runner. And so sit-ups, push-ups, and running. Back then, I don't know if the PT standard has changed. And I was the only thing I was worried about was push-ups, but I was a farmer. I was already working on a farm digging stuff. So I did the push-ups, even though I'd never done a push-up before in my life. So what was I saying about Fort Dix? I remember the drill sergeant saying to us consistently, do you want to go home to your mama? And you know what I thought to myself? Oh, no, I ain't going nowhere, because my mom and my grandma are far more strict than this place is. And it was true. I had more freedom in the military at basic training than I actually had in my house. I mean, sometimes when you're so protective of your children, you actually make them want to leave. But they did me a favor. They did me a favor because at least I had ambition and I didn't end up, falling for some fast-tailed boy and end up like some of my friends. They protected me in that way. But I wanted to get out of there. I did not like New York City. So let me see. I just started a channel that's Real Life Gardening. I don't see anything else. Let me see. Urban Gardening Chronicles. How you doing? Hello, the New Orleans Gardener is here. How you doing? Urban Gardening Chronicles said 17.6 Fahrenheit, -8 Celsius. Where are you, Urban? Oh, Urban is in. She's in Canada. You're in Antarctica. I'm so sorry. I'm complaining about it being 20-something last night, and it's about the high today is 42, and you're in the negatives. I went out there to feed them chickens. My hands started freezing. I was like, oh, brought back bad memories of New York. I told my family, they were like, are you coming home for Thanksgiving? Are you coming home for this? I said, I am not coming up there in the wintertime. I don't do winter unless we having a funeral. And it had to be somebody that I was close to and I liked. I ain't coming back there. I ain't coming back up there in the wintertime. You see me in the spring or summer or maybe fall. GT Jr. says it's 38 degrees here. Urban said, how is it warmer in Alaska? LA lodging a complaint. GT Jr. said 38 Fahrenheit, 3 Celsius. GT Jr. says it's warmer here. Urban Gardening Chronicles says, oh, wow, I didn't know you had been. Okay. Urban Gardening says had bees. Yes, I have bees. I have bees in the far corner over there. I have bees, I have turkey, I have quail. What else do I have? Bantams, dogs. And I'm thinking about getting some goats, although I know goats are trouble. They are trouble. They won't be here though. LP and LP Dimensions. How are you doing? LP, it says it's 28 Fahrenheit, -2 Celsius here in Michigan. Wow. I graduated from Central Michigan. Yeah, that's one of the colleges I went to in the military. We did military. We did college different. I went to night school for college. Military paid for it though. I ain't got no college debt. That was wonderful. They did that for me. And other people who wanted to do it who had time. LP and FC Dimension says I've had peppers take 3 to 4 weeks. Wow. Well, I got time. I planted early. I got 6 weeks before our last frost day here in Zone 9A, Texas. They say it's February 28th, but that's not necessarily true. Sometimes it freezes after that. Anna's backyard gardening. How you doing? I like that it won't tip over. Tina Johnson says, I'm not a content creator, way too shy for that. I'm enjoying retirement and gardening. Okay, Tina Johnson. Miss JK, well, thank you for the support. Thank you. Miss JK Gardner says, hi, Jamerica and the chat. How you doing, Miss JK Gardner? LPFC, excuse me. LP, the LP dimension. One way to distinguish between peppers and tomato babies is peppers tend to be shinier and tomatoes fuzzy. Thank you. Georgia Peach Nut Garner says, Jamerica Life, please check your email when possible. I will. You know I don't check it all the time, right? I'm retired too. So if you want me to do something for you, you send me an email at least a week prior because I don't check it every day. I'm not on the clock anymore. That's why I don't that's why I don't do specific times for lives. It's because I might be sick that day. I might have something to do, and I don't want people to be disappointed in me and expect me to be on at a specific time, and then I don't show up. So I try not to do that. I tried it initially, it didn't work out for me, so I just do it when I on days like this when I'm feeling good and I'm happy, in a good mood, and not don't want to get on here and be in a bad mood or sad or something like that. Every life be lifing. So I get on here when I have something that I want to put out, because planting seeds right now at this time, this is the stage to get your seeds in. And this will save me a lot of money and you a lot of money if you do it yourself. So let me see. Real Life Gardening is sending hearts. GT Junior Grows in Alaska says super hot, take quite a bit of time and even more time without desired heat. That reminds me, I have some heating mats that a reptile mat that I could put up under here. He's right. The warmer the seed is, the quicker it'll grow. And some of the stuff, this is strange. There are some seeds that require cold, because I got some in the refrigerator right now. I planted some, what was it? Spinach. And the spinach came up. It started sprouting in the refrigerator, so I put it in the ground. But the rest of them, like lavender, artichokes, a couple of them, you have to put them in the refrigerator. Then there is stuff like this, these nightshades, that if it ain't warm enough, they're not going to sprout. So there are two. And then there are other ones. All seeds are different, just like all people are different. Chamomile. And there's another one, I think purslane. They require light in order to germinate. You have to read the seed packet, and sometimes the seed packet don't tell you. You have to look it up and say, why isn't this artichoke coming up for me? Why? Or why is this chamomile not sprouting? Well, chamomile, don't bury it, and put it in light and keep watering it, and it'll sprout for you. Let me see. GT Junior says super hot, takes quite a bit of time. GT Junior says looks like your channel, but I couldn't find it. Okay. If you could drop your channel in the chat, go ahead and do that. I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't link people's channel in there. But if you want to put your channel in the chat, go ahead and do that. Can't y'all tell me what an eggplant tastes like? Man. Um, I'm going to compare it to squash. That's as close as I can get it. Anybody else got any ideas? And I don't take the skin off the eggplant. I use the skin too. I've never had it, so I don't know if I should plant it or not. Miss Sharon, I would try it. Just plant like 3 seeds and get them from the Dollar Tree so you don't spend an arm and a leg for it, because Dollar Tree sells eggplant seeds. Where's the eggplant? Dollar Tree sells right now. It used to be 3 for $1. I mean 4 for $1. Right now is 4 for $1.25. But these are Black Beauty. Just try it and plant a couple of them. They get big though. You better give them some room. Let me see. LP. Wait a minute. Can you tell me what? Okay, LP. The LP dimension. I'm stubborn, GT Junior, and grows in Alaska. I don't use heat mats though. I did buy some last year. And if you don't have a heating mat, you have a heating pad for your back, you can use that too. When I didn't have a warming tray for my chicks, I used the heat pad that I would use for my back for back problems. I use that for my chicks, and I'm pretty sure I could use that for this too. Just take the sleeve off. Let's see. GT Junior is saying hello. the LP dimension says, give it a shot, Miss Sharon. LP also says, I grew them the first time last year. They are different, but I actually enjoy them raw. I didn't know how to describe them. They do have an interesting texture and a little bitter. I don't eat them raw. That's why they were bitter. You can make, you ever heard of Ratatouille? Remember that movie? Ratatouille is not Ratatouille without eggplant. So that's what I use it for. And I use it as a filler if I'm making soup or a stew. Uh-oh, messed up. Urban Gardening Chronicle says, I know all complaining about cold. I just laughed. You ain't felt nothing yet. Shoot. Urban, I'm from New York City. I felt that wind chill factor. And a cold. GT Junior grows in Alaska. My house stays 72 degrees, so I use controlled temperature heat mats 4 to 8 days. Tails be popping out. That makes sense, because I have mine on 72 right now. I could do that. I could put these on my heat mat. Thank you, GT. Tina Johnson says, laugh out loud. I hate cold also. There's a couple of us in here. Shoot, I did something about it. When I retired from the military, they were like, well, where do you want us to send your household goods? I had already had a house here. I bought this house when I bought this house before I deployed to Iraq. That's what I did. In between Afghanistan and Iraq, I bought this house. I was like, shoot, I am going to have somewhere to go. Because when people retire from the military, they don't have nowhere to go a lot of times. And they usually don't have a lot of money either. People be thinking we making a bunch of money. We ain't making squat. Not for what you do anyway. When I went to the city and worked for the city, I realized how little we were being paid for what we were doing. However, a lot of people in the military don't have somewhere to go, so that's the thing. If you're in the military, you make sure you make a plan. You make a plan a couple of years before you retire, or you get out, because some people just ETS, which means that you just get out. You make sure you have somewhere for you to lay your head. Don't be just willy-nilly trying to figure it out and having to go to your parents' house, Lord, because they gonna treat you like they treated you before you left, like a kid. Okay. Let's see. LP, the LP dimension, of course, it's entirely your choice to do real life gardening, but I do consider your channel name in terms of its searchability. Okay. Urban Gardening Chronicles. LOL GT Junior, I am cheap. 70 is the highest. I mostly keep my house at 68 and put on. My mom does that. She puts on 68. And I was in a there ain't no privacy. She walked in and I had a heater going. She was like, "What are you doing? Con Edison, are you gonna run my bill up?" I was like, "Shoot, it's cold." She's like, "Put on more clothes." That's why I don't go there in the wintertime, because I'll be fighting with them. I was like, "I'll pay the bill. That ain't the point. I don't want you to pay my bill. I can pay my own bills." I'm like, "Oh Lord, there ain't no, you can't win for losing." The LP dimensions, I don't mean that in any kind of way, but with love, real life gardening. But when I type that in, there is another with that name. Oh yeah. They won't let you have the same name. They usually give you numbers behind it. Like when I first started, I wanted to be Jamerica, but somebody else had that name. So they gave me a number, Jamerica 5288. Y'all remember that? The guys, people who have been with me for a while. And then when I got more into the YouTube thing, I realized, okay, that's not going to work. So then I put Jamerica Life, and I used it. It was one word, and that's how I came up with my name. But initially, I just wanted Jamerica, but I couldn't get it because somebody else had it. Several other people have it, apparently. The LP demands. There we go, Miss Sharon. They're beautiful, at least. Wait a minute. What did I miss? The LP demands. I bet your terms at Jamerica, your pepper won't take what? Your peppers. I bet with your temps, Jamerica, your peppers won't take that long. What? It's 30, 6 degrees out. We got a cold front. I couldn't believe it. I said, no, I thought we were going to have a good winter. Nope. It's freezing. It's freezing. It was 22 last night. I had to go out there and mess with them chickens. I almost froze myself to death. And I don't like wearing boots, but I had to put my boots on last night because I said, I ain't gonna catch a death of cold. Miss Sharon said, yes, the LP dimension. I said, and then he says, mind you, at Real Gardening, that I do recognize my name might be easy to spell and remember. Yeah. Jamerica, you can just call me LP. Okay, LP. Dirk X, how you doing? Grew them. He says, LP grew them for the first time last year. I missed what it was. Georgia Peachna says, hello. LP, says, hello. Georgia Peachna, I totally understand in the same way. LP says, eggplants. I grew drools as I don't know what that is. Smaller compact variety and Black Beauty. Urban Gardening Chronicle said, hey, Georgia Peachna. Okay. I support, GT Junior grows in Alaska. GT says, I support that more than anything. Being frugal is smart. My wife complains about it when it was 70, laugh out loud. Dearth X says, I grew White Casper. I have White Casper eggplant. Thank you for bringing that up. Where's that eggplant? Let me see. I have White Casper. Where is it? Sookie. Where did I put that? Okay, I took that seed pack out and put it somewhere, and now I can't find it. I'll look for it. Yeah, I have White Casper. I forgot to plant it last year too. Thank you for bringing that up. Miss Sharon says, I only mods can drop links. Oh, okay. All right. GT Junior grows at Alaska. I can't do anything. I've been, don't want to give in to paying for a streamline that I can get for free from YouTube. That's how I stream. I stream through YouTube. So I don't know. I don't know about paying for stuff. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. It tastes like whatever you season it with. So she's talking about eggplant. And that is Divine Kiss Met 77. How you doing? I didn't see you. Eggplant is similar to zucchini. That's what I thought. Psalms 146 says, I say the eggplant tastes like whatever seasoning you use, kind of like tofu is a neutral flavor until you do something with it. Miss Sharon says, oh, it's similar to zucchini. I like it. Real Life Gardening says, LP, what pops up when you search my name? GT Jr. says, so I can cook shrimp with eggplant and it takes up the character of shrimp? I don't think so, but I don't know. I've never tried that. I've never tried that combination. That sounds like something that's doable. And Devon Kissimmee T says, yes. Urban Gardening Crown said, eggplant tastes like a sponge. What? I like the flavor from the seasoning you use. Yeah, that's why I do ratatouille, because you put chicken stock in it. I like it, but you have to season it. Yeah. Lynette Lawrence says, hello. How you doing? How you doing? Let's see. Urban says eggplant is too much. Or eggplant is too. If the eggplant plant is too mature, it's slightly bitter to taste. All right. Well, I had some big ones. I had some that didn't make it that lasted. I mean, sometimes eggplant have them big old leaves, right? And the eggplant will be under the leaf. So if the eggplant is really large, like mine did, some of them, it'll drag the plant down. It'll be on the ground. And eggplant is purple. I didn't see it until it got really big. But hopefully, I blanched them. I didn't cook them yet. I blanched them, which is sticking them in hot water for about 3 minutes, shocking them, putting them in some cold water, and then I vacuum sealed them and put them in the freezer. Georgia Peachnut says, I grow eggplant from others. I have a lot of people who like them. LP and the LP, and I appreciate your service, Jamerica. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Sharon says, thank you. I will try the eggplant. All right. Psalms 146. The snow is fixing to fall in Dallas. You're about 3 hours away from me. I don't want no snow. Has me wondering if everyone can still trust our last frost dates around the country. Yeah. They said it was gonna snow in Dallas, so I watched two guys, Max Velocity and Ryan Holm, and they both said it was gonna snow. They both said it. Dakota says, okay. LP, the LP Dimensions. Okay, I found you. All right. Sharon, our last frost date is April 24th. So I'm doing this 6 weeks prior. I'm planting my seeds minimum. Some people have already planted. Minimum 6 weeks prior to your last frost date. And your last frost date, that's just an estimate. They say to use the Farmer's Almanac in reference to finding out what's going to happen that year. Some people say it's very reliable. Next time I see one, I'll pick one up and try to read it. That's some boring reading right there sometimes. LP, the LP Dimension. I just got started on March 1st. With the Herb Garden Challenge. I'm still nervous sometimes. I don't show myself, just my hands and my garden. We learn to grow from we learn and grow more comfortable as we go. Yeah. And more, let me see. Real life gardening and more. You record and find your voice and your path, the more you'll get the feel of how and what the challenge should be. Yeah. All right. That's my art. How you doing? Which editing platform are you using? I use my iPhone. And I forgot what it's called. But it's associated with Apple. And that's what I use to edit all my videos. I don't pay for it. I'm paying enough for this iPhone. I was mad about that price. I was like, that is too much. But I like Apple because the only reason why I like Apple, one of the main reasons I like Apple is because before I had an Android, and I think it was a Razor Android, and I got used to the phone, right? And these quail are running around like they got a chicken in their head. They're just jumping around. Anyway, I had a Razor, and the next year I went there and I said, I want I want the upgrade to this phone. I was like, oh man, we don't make that phone anymore. You gotta buy another type of Android. And then I had to get used to a different type of Android. So finally, one of my friends, she had an iPhone. She said, girl, get an Apple, because they don't change that much. They do little tweaks, and it gives you time, because I'm not that young. It gives you time to get comfortable with that product. And with Androids, I could not find the consistency, and I'm all about consistency. I don't like, if I want to learn something, I want to learn it and build on it. I don't want to have to start from ground zero again. That's why I overwinter my peppers, because I don't like starting from ground zero unless I'm learning something new. I don't have to relearn phone, how to use a phone every year or every couple of years. So that's why I switched up, because I just got irritated. Couldn't find the same phone, couldn't find the same system. So I just went to Apple, and I got, I didn't necessarily, when I first started, I did not like Apple. Did not. But guess what? I appreciate them because they're consistent. They are. You're going to pay for them though. Woo! You're going to pay. Let's see. And that's what I used to edit my videos. The Apple product. I forget what it's called. You have to have an iPhone though, or iPad, or MacBook. Let's see. Where am I? Okay. One of the best pieces of advice I hear real life gardening is knowing your why and remember it. My best advice for planting and for anything on YouTube is to do something you love and to be yourself. Don't try to be nobody else. Either people are going to like you or they're not going to like you. And not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to like what you do. And you just do what you do, and they'll find you. It's going to take a while though. Don't expect, that's why a lot of people give up. Don't expect everybody to like gardening or chicken or quail or meat. My quail and my chickens are meat sources. They are not pets. I know some people get upset about, me culling some of them birds. That's what I do. They're not pets. My dogs are pets. My cats are pets. Quail, chickens, all that stuff, they're nice to have, but they're not pets. They're livestock. Okay, that's just my opinion. And if you want your chicken to be a pet, good for you. If you want your quail to be a pet, good for you. But that's just not me. What I'm saying is, everybody who comes to your channel, first of all, it's going to take time for people to find you, because YouTube will push you out, especially if you do shorts. They'll push you out to a lot of people initially, right? And then they'll put you in a category. But I'm not in any category because I do all kind of stuff, right? So then the algorithm gets all confused. I just don't want people to think that I'm only a gardener. This is just a part of me, just like I'm a person. This is just a part of what I do. There are other things that I do, and I do it on YouTube because I feel like people need to know some of this stuff. Part of us growing all of our things is to be more self-sufficient. I'm not going to call myself a prepper because I am not a prepper. I've seen some preppers. They have a lot of stuff. You see, this is it. I have seeds, but I don't have an abundance of seeds. However, if you want to be self-sufficient, you got to learn a variety of things. Just like I have solar. I never show you all the solar because I blew up a solar machine before, and I didn't want nobody to experience that. I was so mad at myself. But I have solar. I don't show it, but y'all see solar panels out there. I have solar. Maybe I'll start showing that when I become more comfortable, because I don't want anybody to lose any money behind something I told them to do. There's certain things that I do that I don't do very well, but I try. But part of being more self-sufficient is learning a variety of things. And if I know something and I know that it can possibly help somebody, well, then I do it. I know I could plant stuff, and that ain't gonna hurt nobody, right? I'm not telling you all to plant in ground because I know some people got led. Initially, there were some people, and I never tell people that this is the only way to do something. If you want to buy seedlings, you go ahead and do it. Don't let nobody shame you, because there are people who garden shame, who, I mean, when I culled the bird, oh, I don't understand how you could do that. I had friends tell me that. That didn't happen on YouTube. I don't understand how you could do that. Easy. Well, it's not easy, because you are taking a life, and I respect the life. But I eat meat. I eat chicken. Why am I going to go and buy chicken from the supermarket? Don't make no sense when I have these roosters driving me crazy. I'm a culler, and I'm going to learn how to do it. And I'm going to learn how to do it on YouTube. And once I get good at it, which I did, I'm going to show you how to do it. And you don't have to watch it. But I'm being myself. And what myself is not just being a gardener. I am overall trying to learn everything and trying to be as self-sufficient as I can, because I don't like what's going on at that grocery store. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like being sprayed when I'm buying vegetables. I don't like the chicken meat being pink. It's not supposed to be pink. Somebody asked me when I culled that chicken, and I don't have a plucker. Well, I have one now. I didn't have one then, because I'm tired of doing what I'm doing. When I processed that chicken, somebody said, "Why is the meat does the meat look like that?" And have you noticed that there is a lot of fat on the chicken, and that there is pink, and the skin it's not white. It's like a yellowish color. And that's because it's chicken, but because of the conditions that the chickens are living in. Those chickens live in a little doghouse, and there's probably 10 of them in there, and they never get to move around. They're full of fat, and that's why they're full of fat, because they fatten them up to get them cold, and they're trying to turn them around. There's a thing called a meat bird. My birds are dual purpose birds. You get eggs and you can get meat from them. But there are meat birds that I don't think they ever see the light of day. They don't ever get a chance to run around a yard, even though their area is small. These chickens never leave a little doghouse. I don't like what's going on there. Plus, I don't know the conditions. I don't know how they culled the chicken, because I had and this is one of my family members, who's basically a troll. That's what she is. And she asked me why and this is off, you always wash your vegetables off, always wash your chicken off, wash your meat off, even if it's with water. And this is why. When they cull chickens, you think that those conditions are clean? That they can keep all of that excess material sanitized? That's why there's so many diseases going around right now. First of all, the compost is not compost. Sometimes it's human waste, sometimes it's animal waste that has not broken down. And that's how some of that, like chicken, if I went into my yard and I put that compost in here, which is, they say there's hot compost and cold compost. If I use the chicken manure, do you know that got salmonella in it? And if that gets on one of these little leaves and I eat it, I'll get sick. Listeria, there's all kind of stuff going around. So because there are so many little things popping up, and that's because of sanitation, I prefer to do it myself. Now, chicken, when they're processing chicken, if you get any of that any of the digestive tract on there, that meat is probably not any good. You think they get rid of that stuff at a processing plant? They don't. They give it to you. They give it to you, which is why I wash my stuff in lemon juice, and I wash it with something acidic like lemon juice, lime juice, anything acidic, anything citrus, lime, lemon, calamundin. Wash it off, or vinegar. I wash it off because I know that those processing plants, and to include the vegetable places, are sometimes not some of the cleanest places. Just my opinion. You ain't gotta listen to me, but there's a lot of stuff going around, and I trust me more than I trust them. So the more I can learn for myself, and man, because I think I got PTSD behind that lockdown. I used to have to wait in lines for food, and I don't want to do that again. Or I don't want to get sick. Like some of this stuff you can't get rid of. I had a an aunt who developed colitis. People don't tell you this, but colitis is caused by bacteria. It's usually from something you eat. You ain't born with colitis. You get it. And once you get it, you got it for life. So I trust me more than I trust them. And that's why I'm learning to do all this stuff, because I don't like doing it, but I do it. Do it just in case. I mean to get on that tangent, but this is doing stuff like this, planting your own stuff, even if you don't plant it from scratch, even if you go and get seedlings and you go ahead and put something in a pot, at least you know you can trust yourself more than you trust someone else. Don't try. The less you can depend on an industry to do something, the better off you're gonna be. My opinion. You ain't gotta listen to me. I have canned goods in here too. I buy stuff too, but slowly but surely I'm trying to wean myself off enough where I can feel a little bit comfortable and say, hey, I know that came out of the yard, and I know that I ain't getting sprayed with whatever that stuff is coming out of the sprayer. I don't have to worry about whose dirty hands is on it. It was only my dirty hands that was on it. Maybe a rabbit or two came by, but at least I have some kind of, at least I'm a little comfortable with eating stuff from my yard, or for that matter, eating the livestock that I have around here. Just my opinion. And culling is not fun. Not fun. I don't like doing it, and I do it as little as possible. When I do it, I try to do it all at once. I try to do as much as I can and then stop, because they say it messes with your psyche if you start just culling and keep on doing it. They say, and plus I don't have that many chickens. I don't have any chickens left. But I didn't have any chicken in my refrigerator, and them jokers was cock-a-doodle-doo. And roosters are mean on top of that. They'll attack you. They call it flogging. Go straight for your face. All right. Let me see. Let me see. GT Junior grows at last. Says StreamYard is free? Really? I'll check. I got the free version, but I didn't get any. I didn't see anything where it was free. I heard people complaining about it going up. That's what I heard. I don't know. I never did try, so I wouldn't know. Let's see. Android for life. All right, you go ahead. You like change. I like consistency. I get irritated when I have to look for something. I get mad at myself when I can't find something. So you're like, well, where did you put it, girl? You know better. Always put stuff in the same place. Let me see. My Psalms 146. My best bit of advice: label your plants. Yeah, I label them, but then I put them in the yard and I don't know what they are anyway. I ain't good at that. They'll tell you what they are. That's what I say. After a while, you'll know what they are, because they always show, just like people show you who they are eventually. That's why you got to wait them out. Wait them out. See who they are. Then they'll show you who they are, and then you can make your true assessment. Because everybody put on just like these true leads come out, everybody put on a good front initially, right? Wait. It'll show up. That mask will fall. Just like the plants show you who they are. Psalms 146 is saying hello. Divine Kismet T77. I grow in a 4x7 balcony, so I enjoy watching you utilize all the space you have. Must be nice. No, it ain't. It's hot. It's 100-something degrees sometimes out there. It ain't easy. Sometimes I got an automatic sprinkler now. That is the best thing since sliced bread. But putting that stuff in the ground, man, my back is hurting. My knees are hurting. Some days are better than others. Depending on what I eat, it affects my joints. And some days I shoot. Some days I can make 3 videos, and other days I can't get off the couch. That's the truth of the matter. Y'all see Just because I put out a video and now I'm doing it every other day. Just because I put a video out every other day doesn't mean I made that video that day. Sometimes it's a week prior because I know some days I don't feel good and I can't go out there. That's why I have an automatic sprinkler system because shoot, it's not gardening is cardio. Gardening is not especially if you have clay soil. I was talking to one of the ladies on the other side of the highway. I-35 separates Austin, or separates the east from the west. She's on the west end and she's all rock. East side is all clay. I didn't think I was blessed until she said she can't plant anything. Everything has to be in raised beds because she cannot dig in the clay soil. It is not easy being a gardener, but it is so worth it. And I find peace. And I feel like, you see my hand, I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I just find peace out there in the garden. Unless it's 100 degrees or it's 22 degrees like it is now. That's my art. Said hello to GT. Sharon said congratulations on 2K. Yeah, I made it a week or so ago. I was like, wonderful, yay! That's my art. I haven't started yet trying to figure out which platform is best. Oh, okay. I just picked YouTube because I watched YouTube all the time. And Facebook, man, I don't know. Facebook. I was on Facebook for a little while. No, I didn't like Facebook that much. That's my art. Says I have an Android. Okay. Dakota. How you doing, Dakota? Dakota says don't have to watch it, but don't have to watch it, but it's there for anybody that needs to learn. Yeah, that's what it's for. And I put a disclaimer on it because I don't want anybody to look at it and say, look, if you don't want to see this, don't look. Then the chicken one, I don't know what I did, but they were like, oh no, you got to be over 18 to see this one. I'm like, fine, I don't care. Go ahead and do it. I'm glad you showed how to cull chickens and quail. Here in Detroit, the city just approved homeowners to grow your own chickens. A lot of cities are doing that. And you know why? Because they realize how dangerous, how risky it is at the grocery store. And just like the egg shortage, that's the second time they have one of them eggs. I don't know what's going on with them eggs. I think they're submerging them in some dirty water, washing them because they wash their eggs. And man, I heard about that. I didn't have to worry about it because I got chickens, so I get eggs. Buyer beware. When you buying chickens, you make sure you buy it from somebody reputable because they will unload some roosters on you. And roosters don't lay eggs. All roosters are good for is making noise, fertilizing the chickens, fertilizing the eggs so you can make more chicks, or fried chicken because they're going to make some noise. And if you got neighbors, most cities will allow you to have hens. Hens and roosters are both chickens. It's a species, right? So if you say, I want to buy some chickens from you, they're not necessarily lying because a rooster is a chicken. Make sure you get hens. That happened to me. The guy sold me a bunch of roosters. I had to take them out to the country. I couldn't take it. And they were mean. I'm back, says Bro. How you doing, bro? Welcome back. Real Life Gardening says, if all the channels and videos, what do you all use for editing? And they're telling her what they use. Miss Sharon, Broke, I hope you got that pawpaw tree for me. Uh-oh, Broke, you got some pawpaw trees? Let's see. Miss Sharon, I can't wait to plant it. That's my art. They're just using what stores put out there for us. Some people have limited understanding to something and don't understand things homesteaders do. Yeah. Homesteaders, most homesteaders, first of all, we don't have a lot of money. And if you've ever had dysentery or had food poisoning, you ain't ever gonna have it again. I've had it happen to me. Luckily, it wasn't chicken, it was pork. Because chicken, I have a food handler's license, or at least I did. Pork will make you sick, but chicken will put you under the ground. You gotta be careful. Let's see. Or anything that is infected with what chicken, the disease that comes from that type of poultry. Um, Sharon, I will find what? I will find one eventually. Okay. I'm glad for the culling video you gave a warning if they don't, yeah, if they don't like it, why they watch it. I mean, I learned I need to learn so when I do have it, I'm prepared. Yeah. It's not easy. Not easy taking a life. It's not. Um, let's see. Yeah, that happened to me. They mixed in a rooster with my little flock. And that joker was making all kinds of noise every time I got up to use the restroom in the middle of the night. Yeah, them true roosters will leave. Man, them roosters will tell your business. Say, I'm here. Tell all the predators, all the neighbors. Man, I'll just pick them up after a while and just take them to the cold cone because I can't take it. I got one out there right now who's pressing his luck. I didn't know he was a rooster until he opened his mouth. The bet, Psalms 146, I bet the neighbors probably knew that I had birds. Yeah, they know. And then the chickens, they make that, sometimes they fuss and give their laying eggs on. GT Jr. saying hello. Georgia Peters. That's why I don't. That's why I haven't done a lot of videos due to back issues and other things. You have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I hurt my back with them sweet potatoes. Hello, Sister Jamerica and the family. Francesca, how you doing? You look like you having too much fun, sister. I can't wait to start sowing seeds. Food Forest Permaculture, how you doing? Good day, Jamerica and fellow Earthlings. GT Jr., that's great. Oh, what did I miss? GT Jr., that's great, man. I have to research. I want a pawpaw tree. I saw pawpaw trees for sale. What was it? Willis Orchard? They weren't very much money either. They're bare roots, but that's who I use. No affiliation. So I'm gonna get to the bottom of the chat. Miss Sharon says, Howie, hello. Food Forest Permaculture saying, hello, Georgia Peachnut. So we've been on for a while, and I haven't brought any water here, so my voice is giving out. I just wanted to go ahead and sow these seeds and talk about a couple of things and talk about the organization of your seeds so that you're not driving yourself mad trying to find your stuff. The worst thing, and just like I couldn't find that Casper eggplant, it's got to be around here somewhere. I must have put it somewhere else because it's not here, or I misfiled it. I'll look for it. But if you have everything organized and you organize it the way you want, you don't have to do it my way. You don't have to do it this way. But unless you like looking for stuff, that's fine. Everybody's different. This is how I do it. And this cost me what? $125, $3, $6. No, $125, $250, $250, right? $5. And then this one, this one was $125. So $625, and I got all of this done. Don't mind my math because I'm just doing it off the top of my head. So I thank you guys for being with me. I hope you'll enjoy this planting session. This is just a reminder to go ahead and get your seeds in for those you can't. And those who have bad weather or I can't say it's cold weather. Everybody got cold weather right now. Go ahead and plant inside. WIG 2024 is on, and I think you can still enter. I'm pretty sure you can. Just go ahead and do your entry video. GT Jr. grows in Alaska, and Mike's Chaotic Gardener are the host of that. I'm supporting them. I'm doing my best. I'm not a good indoor gardener. I'm better outdoors than indoors, but I'm trying just in case I have to learn indoors. I mean, I start everything indoors anyway, but I always put it outside. Um, Go ahead and start your stuff indoors. Indoors. That's all I have. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Thank you guys so much for being with me, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? Bye, y'all.